It's lovely to have you here in Streatham. Is it your first time?
It is my first time here, yeah, and I'm very impressed. It's lovely to be here. I'm here, obviously, my daughter, Howdenem, is competing as an individual for the British team, and so it's an opportunity to come here, and I have to say I'm incredibly impressed by the facilities and not quite what I expected, so lovely to be here.
It's lovely to have you here. Hopefully you're going to come again.
Yeah, I'll be back, hopefully, exactly, very much so, yeah. So as you know, I have a horse trials at home, so I'm passionate about eventing, and it's great to see such fantastic facilities and the ground so good for the horses, so I shall hopefully be back, definitely.
There is also a big emotions during the start of your daughter. How do you feel by now?
Yeah, it's good. As a dad, it's always good when the cross country is over, I have to say. It's 8 minutes of horror. You have your, doubts. I sometimes wonder why did I encourage her to be in this sport, but she's safe through the cross country now, so just the show jumping to go, so that's good, yeah.
I'm really interested about you're interested in eventing, but also horse racing. Which you like more?
I've got 3 daughters, and it's like asking yourself, which of the daughters do you prefer? It's not a question you can answer.
No.
I love them all. I'm passionate about eventing because I believe it's one of the great sports. It's one of the few Olympic sports where men and women compete on equal terms. Obviously, really happy that the GB won the gold again this year, second year. It's fantastic that. So it's an amazing sport, and I really want to support it. I think it's a sport that doesn't get often the support that it needs. So I'm really passionate, and obviously having a daughter who competes for Great Britain in under 21 makes me passionate. But I love racing as well. Racing is fantastic. I'm a breeder of racehorses, and again, I love the passion of focusing on what mare we want my stallion, breeding a horse, and then the highs and lows of that. I had a filly I bred called Running Lion. She's a beautiful filly. She was the second favourite for the Oaks 2 years ago. Oisin Murphy was on her. I thought, here we go. I'd bred her, and the stalls opened, and she backed out.
Oh, no.
And all the horses went, and I was left standing there. So the low, but then the high, as you know, I think you were there. A few weeks ago at Royal Ascot, with Oisin riding, she ran from the front and won a Group 2 for me, and that was like,
You made my day, I remember that.
Yeah, very happy day. So, I'm passionate about both, and I think, if you can support equine generally, I think it's really important to support it. And actually, I'm doing quite a lot now. I have run something called the Howden Way, which is helping promote people to get into eventing who may not be able to normally have access to it. And I'm now going to be doing something this year about the retraining of racehorses, to help racehorses. Obviously, we have the RRR in England, but help racehorses get into eventing. At Cornbury, which is our event, we obviously have the Young Horse Championships and the Youth Championship. But next year, we're going to have a class which has been supported by Jay McGibbon, where there's a £50,000 prize money for the racehorse that wins. So we're really trying to not just get the training, but also the encouragement of getting people to actually look at the ability to get great racehorses into a second career in eventing.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I was supposed to ask you about your goals, but you already told me that you have had lots of goals during next years to support the sport, to support racing, to support eventing, and obviously horses after racing can have a bright future. Very
bright future. I mean, there are any here. You're talking about eventers that are, young when they're 6 years old. I mean, a racehorse is retired by that age 2 years before. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for that. And I think, I was talking to a young rider now who's got a horse running in Cornbury in a couple of weeks' time. I think he paid £1,000 for it. It's entered in the 6-year-old. He thinks it's going to do well. More people should be doing that. Look at the opportunity there. Fantastic.
That's lovely. Thank you for having you here. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Brilliant, lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.